Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a complete end-to-end data project what I have built. It's a football match ETL pipeline. This project covers a full data journey from a live API all the way to a Power BI dashboard. And the best part, everything used here is completely free. So before we start, let's quickly understand what is ETL. So ETL stands for extract, transform and load. Extract means pulling raw data from a source. In our case, it is going to be a football API key. Transform means cleaning and structuring data so that it can become a useful entity for us. And load means storing that data into a clean SQL server somewhere. Currently, I am using SQL Server, so I have taken that as an example. And this is how data pipelines work in real companies, just but on a very bigger margin. So let's start. We are into a step 1 where API key will be fetching the raw data. Currently I have taken Premier League data that can be available from the footballdata.org, and from here only you can avail your free API key as well. Let's go ahead and hit run Python file. So currently it is calling football API and success. It has got around data of 380 matches and saved it raw to the raw matches.json. So if you see here, currently we have got data into completely raw format into a JSON file. So if you see, around 27 to 28,000 lines of code is involved where complete raw data is there. It is present, but it's not completely usable for us. So now here comes the second step of transforming and load into a directional data from where we can actually identify on which direction it is heading towards. So from here, I'm again using import JSON to read the data saved in step 1, import pyodbc so that we can talk to the SQL server. So now I'm hitting that again. So now, as soon as I've ran this file, 380 matches is being sent to the football DB. So we are going into this football DB. The last time I ran this code for the testing purposes, the data is close to around 2659 matches. Now let's run this command again. We will be scrolling till the very last. So this has got the data of around 3039 matches in total. So our task is complete here. The data is aligned into the designated format in which we would have wanted. Now let's move to the next step. That is basically to not transform exactly, but to export this data to a football matches Excel file so that this can be sent it over across anything where we would have needed, either via mail, either via cloud support services like SharePoint or maybe Google Docs. So that way this data can be shared. So let's run this. So currently you see there is an exception handling error coming up, and this is purely because the file currently is open here. This consists of 2660 cells where a last update has been made. So what we need to do is we need to close this file and run this current file again. Now I have ran this file, and from now onwards we will be going to get the updated count. If you could remember, the matches were close to around 3039 in SQL Server plus 1 along with this heading section. So we have got this heading section. Now we just need to check the number of cells. So that is 3040 is the count here. So 3040 minus 1, that is 3039. Now we have to go ahead and make it into such an actionable item so that we can actually check whether how many matches are home team winning, how many draw matches are there. So that can, nothing can be separated in between the two teams. They both have fought equally well. Third is how many times away team have won the matches. That means someone who's gone into somewhere den and they have been able to replicate something which wasn't that easy to do. So let's move to the next part of it, that is into a Power BI. So in Power BI, you can simply click on get data, and from the Excel workbook, you can pick the Excel workbook. There are multiple sources where you can connect. If I would have wanted, I can directly connect it to a SQL server, but since I have wanted to involve in multiple steps, so I have gone ahead and pick Excel workbook as that option. Excel workbook also gives you an option to customize the data as per your needs if you wanted to make some pivots into an Excel. But currently we are not making any pivots. I have simply gone ahead and drag and drop few of the visualizations from this tab. So here I have picked the bar chart. Secondly, I have picked a card over here, and then I have picked pie. So that has made the categorization of the data in such a way that currently we are able to find out what is the total number of matches being played. Now here's a catch. In the Excel file you have got data of around 3000 matches. Now this will become again a major query that we would have to go ahead and use a separate file every time. No, that's not the case. What you need to do is, since here all the data is getting stored via Python script into a single Excel file, and that single Excel file currently being connected to this Power BI dashboard, all you need to do is hit the refresh button. This will load the data, and the last count you have got is 3039 matches, and this is what it means. 3039 matches, 3.039k into 1000, that makes up for your 3039 matches count. Currently, if you click on this orange slide where a draw has been actioned, so that means nothing can separate two teams. They have played really good football on the field, and ultimately a match resulted in draw. Either none of them have scored a goal, each of them has scored a goal, but they have scored the same number of count. Now if you look at this slide, that is 1.3k, that makes up for around 42.65%. That means 42.65% chances for home teams. They are able to dominate their opposition once they are into their den and being able to pull out the matches. So the count here is close to around 1.3k since it's rounded off, but actual count is 1296. If you can see, Arsenal FC is topping the charts here. Now let's move to the away matches. So total 911 matches is being won by 911 matches are won by the away teams. That means they are being able to go ahead and challenge the home teams while going into their den. So here again, it's Burnley Football Club, which have been able, one of those teams which are able to top the charts here. And that's how it sums up the visualization. It is one of those projects where I have, put up quite a few things. I have involved the Python script to get data from an API key. Later on, I have picked SQL Server so that I can categorize that data. Later on, I have categorized that data into an Excel file. And at the very last, we have made the dashboard out of it. I hope you like the video. If you want the resources, I will be presenting my GitLab location. From where there you can go ahead and access all the GitLab files, the source code, even the API key as well, which I'll be trying to hide, but it is something for the good use. So thank you very much. Thanks a lot for your time today.